Good morning, all. Welcome to Anand Rathi Morning Commodity and Currency Podcast. Let's begin with precious metal update. Gold holds onto a range as investors looked into recent comments from Fed officials, which implied fewer rate cuts for 2024 than initially anticipated. This in turn weighs on the sentiments, while steady yields also implies limited upside. Meanwhile, silver expected to remain steady for the day, while only a weekly close above previous week's high of 23.30 indicates sustained upside ahead. Technically, gold pivot is around 62,394. If gold surpasses 62,649, it has potential to reach to the levels of 62,820. Conversely, if it falls below 62,237, we might see downside to the levels of 62,060. Going ahead with energy update, oil is heading for a weekly gain after 7% drop last week as tension persists in the Middle East. On the fundamental front, though the market remains concerned about the consumption slowdown in the long term, the current demand numbers remain healthy. Meanwhile, US refinery maintenance, together with Europe being short on diesel, will help maintain positive momentum in the near term. WTI oil will continue to face resistance near $78.79 levels in the near term. Technically, crude oil pivot is around 6,246. If crude oil rises above 6,420, we may see upside to the levels of 6,520. And if it falls below 6,194, we might see downside to the levels of 6,094. Let's talk about base metal update. Base metal might open in positive side, but upside will be limited as demand concerns from top consumer China and also from US dollar will weigh on prices. Additionally, a significant drop in China's consumer price adds to near-term demand worries. Also, copper inventories in China are increasing during a typically slow demand period. Technically, copper pivot is around 708. If copper breaks above 712, we may see upside to the levels of 716. And if it falls below 701, we might see downside to the levels of 697. On currency front, rupee is expected to weaken through Friday's session on the back of mostly struggling Asian peers following more pushback on imminent Federal Reserve rate cuts and a jump in oil prices. Phenomenally, rupee often has a difficult time to sustain above 83 on the last day of the week. No major economic events today. That's all for today's podcast. Have a successful trading day. Thank you.